Yes, I must confess, all must give their best for beautiful Ghana. I will give my best. You give your best. Give my best to beautiful Ghana. To beautiful Ghana. To beautiful Ghana.
I will do my best. And if you also do your best to the beautiful country that you live in, then everything will be okay. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good day. Wherever in this world that you are and listening to the sound of my voice, I greet you. How are you doing this morning? I believe you are doing amazingly well. This morning is going to be very educational as always. We have on the show a very important person. This person is an advisor, energy advisor to be precise. And he is going to talk to us about energy bills. Do you understand your energy bills? Do you pay for energy, gas, electricity, and possibly utility bills? Do you do that? We want to hear from you. If you do, even if you don't and you understand it, we want to hear from you. So, I am so excited, and I believe you are as well. I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay with us and learn. This show is How Do You Do Your Business with Queen G. And we ask professionals the question how they do their businesses. And therefore, we get to learn a lot from them. Are you a professional? What do you do? Come on, let's hear from you so that you also come on the show and educate us. We are here to learn. We are here to educate and entertain you. So, as my guest is preparing to join us, I want you to listen to the sounds. It's called Ozuzum Oya. Music brewed in Africa. I love the song, and I know you will love it too. So, stay with us and enjoy. I will be right back.
Music built in Africa,
Come, let's enjoy together. Music born in Africa. Come, let's enjoy forever. After God is where we need to celebrate. After God is where we need to jubilate. Listen to what they sing and just help me sing. Listen, oh yeah. Listen, oh yeah. You sing, go sing, oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. It will make you rock your body. It will make you move your body. It will make you groove your body. I will sing, oh yeah. Moya, it's your kind of music. Moya, it's my kind of music. The move is alright. Let's groove it all night. Don't get so lazy. Yes, something so crazy. Listen to what they say and just help me sing. I will sing, oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. You sing, oh sing, oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. It will make you move your body. It will make you groove your body. It will make you rock your body. I will sing, oh yeah. Swing your hands, move your feet to the rhythm. Swing your arms, move your feet to the rhythm. Cause this rhythm is too hard to resist. Cause the rhythm is too hard to resist. After dancing to the rest, you got to jump that best. After dancing to the rest, you got to jump that best. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna jump forever.
Yes. Ozuzumoya is the music for you. So let me welcome my guest on the show. Hello and good morning to you, Mr. Asante, Kwame Asante.
Good morning, Miss Queen.
How are you
And good
doing this
morning to your
morning?
fans. I am very good. I'm good, thank you. And good morning to your fans.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Without wasting much time, we would love to know you a little bit before we start with our topic for today. Who is Kwame Asante?
Kwame Asante. So I'm a Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana from mountains. If anybody is familiar with that, from mountains. Um, so I did. So my parents are in Ghana, and I've got 5 siblings. Um, I did my schooling, secondary education in Persec. Went to Legon. Um, I've done other studies. Currently in the UK, working in the UK. I've been in the energy market or in the energy industry for almost 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I have a fair idea of what happens in the energy markets and other things. So, and I like sharing information. So, as much as I have, as much as I give out. So, I hope we'll have a good time on the program today.
Lovely. Yes, of course, we are going to have a good time on this show today. And how did you actually get into the energy profession?
So I came to school here, and then obviously after schooling, you want to do what you want to do something that you really want. So I wanted to go into finance. I had the opportunity to work in a call center, which is an energy company call center. I thought that was going to be just a stepping stone, just to get to what I really want to do. And 10 years down the line, I'm still here, but then I'm doing quite a diverse activities with this company. So it's not just being in a call center, as in just receiving calls and answering, giving answers or anything like that, but there are a lot more activities or a lot more that goes on in a call center. And I kind of find myself in one of those sections where I'm dealing with quite a bit of things here at the moment. Yeah. So it's quite an interesting industry to work in. It's got a lot of changes. It's very dynamic, especially it's got. I mean, we all know what happens in the market, whether it's political, whether it's economic, or anything that happens is affecting the energy, and it's always a conversation that is in every household. So yeah, so very very interesting place to work actually.
Amazing stuff. It is an interesting conversation because it applies to, forgive me, applies to most households, not only in the UK, everywhere in the world. We all need energy to operate. Now, having said that, I want to know what is the difference between gas energy and electric energy?
So gas. So when we talk about energy or in the energy industry, it's predominantly going to be gas and electricity. So most people will need gas for their heating. So whether it's for cooking or it's for your normal heating, heating the whole house, and then you have your electricity, which is mostly for your lights and equipment, electric equipment. But sometimes there are some people who don't have gas in their house, so therefore they got another heating system that is powered for electricity. So in the energy industry, we see electricity as a necessity because obviously you can use electricity to generate heat, which will obviously fill up the position of gas. So those are the main differences. But obviously, with electricity, you can sometimes use it to generate heat, as I said. Yeah.
Amazing. So, having explained that, we're going on to the bill. What is gas bill or electricity bill?
So a gas bill, electricity bill is just a document that shows or that gives you a breakdown of what you have used within a period of time in terms of gas and electricity. Um, Now it's got a lot of informations on it. So for instance, I've got a copy of my bill in front of me, and most of us, when we receive our bills, we just look at how much am I supposed to pay. Am I in credit or am I in debit? And if I'm in debit or I'm in credit, how much it is. But there are a lot more information on the bill that we need to pay attention to. So, for instance, the bill I'm looking at is got on the front page. It's got information about a 24-hour emergency line that you can call for electricity and gas. It's got your account number. It's got a date that the bill was generated. It gives you the period of the bill, and then it gives you information as to whether you've made any payments previously, and how much you have used. If you have received any refunds or anything like that, you get it on the bill. Now, also the bill gives you information about how much you have used over a period of time. So if you have submitted a meter reading, or if you've got a smart meter and your energy supplier has actually got your meter readings and they have generated the bill, it gives you a period, and it gives you how much you have used for the period. It gives you how much you're paying per kilowatt hour, and then it gives you how much it costs for your standing charges. It also gives you what sort of VAT you're actually paying on your consumption. It gives you information on the name of your tariff, the way you pay for your bill, whether you're paying by direct debit or you're paying as and when you receive, which is normally cash check, monthly or quarterly. It gives you your annual consumption, which is very important. And then at the back of the bill, it gives you information about how you can pay that bill, what sort of arrangements that your company has got in place if you are struggling to pay for your bill, emergency lines that you can contact again, if you've got a complaint, very important, how you can contact your company. So these are all informations that you can pick up from your bill, and these are some of the information we need to be paying attention to and making sure that we're picking them up when we get our bill. Also, the bill has got your meter serial number. So if you don't know what your meter serial number is, you can pick it up from your bill. It's got your supply number. Basically, the supply number is what links your property to the national database for either electricity and gas. So these are informations that you probably need when you have to go, when you want to change your supply or anything like that. Your bill has got all the information that you need to assist you to do that.
Nice one. Thank you so much for explaining that beautifully. So when you were talking, you said something about tariff. What is it actually?
So tariffs are like, okay, so tariffs is what actually determines how much you're actually going to pay for your electricity and gas. Okay, so how much your company is actually going to charge you. So we have different tariffs. Now, the tariff name is normally your company will actually come up with a name for your tariff. Sometimes the name will have something to do with how long the tariff is for and what sort of benefits you're actually going to get from that tariff, or whether there are any additions or any sort of any additions, or let's say anything that comes with for having that particular tariff, so like compliments that comes with it. So basically in the energy markets, you do have like tariffs, fixed tariffs. So basically with these fixed tariffs, it means that the price that you pay per kilowatt hour of whether you're using electricity or gas is fixed for the period of the tariff. So you can have some being a year, some being 18 months, some being 24 months, depending on what your company has got out there or what other companies have got out there. And then it also gives you, tariff gives you what you're going to pay for your daily standing charges. Almost every company pays for the daily standing charges, and that is like a cost on top of what you have used to generate your bill. Now, if you're on a fixed tariff, as I said, your price is fixed for the period of the tariff, but it's not fixed on the consumption. So the number of units is not fixed, but it's fixed on the price per kilowatt hour. So then you're guaranteed to pay that same price until the tariff comes to an end, and you can look for a new one, or your company will write you to let you know that the tariff is coming to an end. If you don't do anything, then you go on to another tariff, which is the variable tariff on the market. So the variable tariff is where price can go up or down, and whenever there's a price change by your company or in the market, when there's a price change, you will be affected by that price change. So it can go up and come down. So these are mainly what sort of tariff what we mean by tariffs. It determines how much you're going to pay for the number of units that you have used per kilowatt hour.
Thank you for that. It determines how much you are going to pay. So, when you get your bills, you've actually explained it, but I want you to go in a little further. What should I actually check on my bill to know that this is the right amount that I need to pay?
Okay. So for me, I'm going to use myself as an example. If I get my bill, the first thing I do is go to the page where it's got the meter readings that I have submitted
Mhm.
or the meter readings that have been picked from the smart meter. So I check the readings and make sure that the readings are correct. I check the price that have been that the bill have been billed on to make sure that it's within or it is what I've been told that I'm going to be charged. Now, normally when you look at the bill, the way the bill is broken down, you do have the price and then the number of units. But that price that you see there is the price excluding VAT. So if you look at your bill very well, after your company is worked out your cost of usage, which is your price excluding VAT by the number of units, added your daily standing charges to it. So the daily standing charge is a charge that your company will apply to your bill for the period of the bill. So if it's a 30-day, the daily standing charge by 30 days will give you the cost for the daily standing charge. Now they put that together with your cost of usage, and then just below you will see a 5% VAT, and that's where they work the VAT. So sometimes when you look at your bill, you see that your price per kilowatt hour is different from what you were quoted when you sign up for the tariff. But if you do add 5% to that price per kilowatt hour, that will give you what you were quoted. So sometimes we do get that confusion that why is my price online or on my online account different from what is on the bill? And that's the explanation of that. So I look at all this and then make sure that the amount that has been worked out is correct. Make sure that any my consumption is also correct. My annual consumption is correct before I will probably come and look at the costs that I am supposed to pay, whether all the cost or the balance that is showing on my account, whether it's going to be a debit amount or it's going to be a credit account amount. The other information about tariff, that information might be on the page that I'm looking at, so that should be fine. But when it comes to a situation where I want to change supply, I'll probably go a bit further, make sure my annual consumption is correct, make sure my payment method is correct, and then make sure the name of my tariff is showing, because these are informations that will be discussed if you are trying to change supply.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much. So now, when you said also you read your meter. Why is it important for us to read the meter before we get our bills?
So it is very important that we read our meter or our meters. So if you're on the old type of meters where you've got to read it yourself, then yes, it is very important that you read it to make sure that your bills are actual, so they are based on what you're actually using. Because if you're not providing a meter reading to your supplier, chances are they would have to estimate your usage. And if they do an estimate, chances are it might be too high or too little. Also, when your bills are estimated, it affects your annual consumption as well. So then when you're doing a quotation online to change your supply, that will also affect what sort of quotation that you get. So it's always necessary that you check your meter if it's safe to do so. Now, we stress that it's safe to do so because sometimes you might have to press a button. Sometimes, obviously, these are gadgets. You can have maybe a loose cable. You can have maybe a leakage, a gas leakage. You can smell gas around your meter and all that. So when you do these things, you're able to identify these faults, and then you can raise it with your supplier. Or if it's a gas leak, obviously you call the gas leak, which is the emergency line for gas leak, which is 0800111999. Or if it's your supplier, obviously you would have a contact to your supplier. Also, sometimes your meter might not, the meter readings might not be changing, which means that the reading is stuck. So although your electricity is, you have electricity or you have gas in your property, your meter is not recording your correct usage. And that's something you need to bring to the attention of your supplier. If you're not going to the meter, you wouldn't know this. Sometimes the meter screen will be completely blank, which means that you can't read anything, although your supply is on. Um, this is all these are all situations that you need to bring to the attention of your supplier, because definitely they will have to investigate, and then if it requires that any meter needs to be changed, then they have to change the meter so that they can continue to bill you correctly. Uh, if you do have a smart meter, then you potentially don't have to take a meter reading, because it's a smart meter. Your supplier is connected to the meter, so they can get the meter readings automatically. Now, the frequency with which your supplier can get the readings can either be monthly, so once a month they'll get a meter reading, or it could be daily, so every day they'll get a reading from your meter, or it could be half hourly. So every half hourly there will be a meter reading going to your supplier. But it all depends. It's preferential. You determine how frequent they should take the readings. If you want more data, or if you want more information about your usage, then you can probably narrow it down to going for maybe the half hourly or daily, because then if you're concerned about how much you're using and you're not sure which appliances are using more, or you're not sure what time within the day you are using more, then if you go on half hourly, you can actually, sometimes your energy suppliers might have systems online where you can actually check your graphs, and then it will give you a fair idea of what time within the day you're actually using more and what time of the day you're using less, and maybe which appliances are actually using more. Now, it's not going to give you specifically which appliance, but you can think about it and say, and know that maybe in the morning I did use ABC equipment in my property, and potentially that's why obviously my consumption was high in the morning. So if you're on half hourly, it gives you more data and it helps you to make decisions going forward. But for
Beautiful.
me, the
Please,
reading
if
of the meter is
for
very
any
important,
reason you go off,
to
kindly
get an
do
accurate
refrain
bill, and also to
sign
make sure that
in again and
if
let
you
us know
identify
in our chat.
um
Now,
any
I
problems with the
want to
meter, you can let
also
your supplier
know,
know.
how would you know that you are actually reading your meter accurately?
So yes, so it depends on what type of meter you go. So we do have the digital ones, we do have the analog ones, but if you have read your meter before, you would have probably know, because we would expect that your readings will be going forward or up as and when you are using your electricity and gas. So if you've taken a reading last month and it was 15,500, you probably expect that it will be higher than that on your next reading. Now, if you haven't taken a reading before, you can always check your previous bill. If your energy supplier has sent somebody to come and take a reading, then you can look at the bill, your previous bill, and then look at what reading was taken, and then what readings were taken, and then obviously you can try and take similar ones going forward. Sometimes it's, if you've got the analog meters, it's a bit difficult to read them, but also at the back of your bill, it will give you some information as to how you can read your meter. So that's something that I didn't touch on. So that's one of the information you pick from there. So it's always necessary that you check your previous reading and then make sure that what you're taking is in line with your previous reading, and that's how you can check. You can also, some companies have got apps, so you can take a picture with the app, send it to your company,
Mm-hmm.
and they will upload it for you. Or you can take the reading or take a picture of all the screens you can see, call your supplier, and then obviously they will be able to help you to input the right meter reading, or they'll guide you through which is the correct reading.
Nice one. Thank you so much. I want to also ask the question. You know, sometimes you can move house. And when you move house, you move with your electricity and gas bills. What happens during that transition moment?
Okay, so if you move house, chances are, so I'm going to talk about it as having the old meters and having a smart meter.
All
So
right.
if you're living in house A and you've moved to house B, now if you move to house B, chances are that house B is supplied by the company that supplies you house A. That's very easy. So it's just a simple transition. So you just call your company and say,
Okay. He will come back. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you once again, my Facebook listeners, viewers, friends, and family, fans, and everyone. Good morning to you once again. And thank you so much for joining us. We are so grateful for your time. As we wait for our brother to rejoin, I have to show my appreciation to you. So, good morning to you, Queen. Come vibe with Babe Slow. Says, good morning, Queen G. Good morning to you as well, Babe Slow. Thank you for your endless support for the program. We do appreciate it so much. And thank you to you, Victoria Edu. I see you. You are listening. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. And I am so grateful for your time. I am going to play short music, but before then, let me just bring in our numbers. You can actually WhatsApp us, bring your messages, whatever you have heard this morning. I want you to also get involved. Are you loving it? You getting the answers that you're looking for, or you have more questions to ask? Ask some questions, bring your comments. You can call the studio lines on 0203 7358820, or you can also call 0203 60185, or bring in your WhatsApp messages on 078 077 879 39958. Bring it on, and we will read it to our guest. We are waiting for him to rejoin. So do not go anywhere. Let us listen to the song I was playing earlier. Ozuzumuya. Music brewed in Africa, indeed.
Let's groove it all night. Don't get so lazy. Yes, something so crazy. Listen to what they say and just help me sing. I was sing, oh yeah. I was sing, oh yeah. Music goes sing, oh yeah. I was sing, oh yeah. It will make you move your body. It will make you groove your body. To make you rock your body. I was sing, oh yeah. Swing your arms, move your feet to the rhythm. Swing your arms, move your feet to the rhythm. Cause this rhythm is too hard to resist. Cause the rhythm is too hard to resist. After dancing to the rest, you got to jump your best. After dancing to the rest, you got to jump your best. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna rock too. We're gonna rock together. We're gonna jump too. We're gonna jump forever. After dancing to the rest, you got to jump that dance. I will sing, oh yeah. We'll sing, oh yeah. You think we'll sing, oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. It's to make you move your body. It's to make you groove your body. To make you rock your body. I will sing, oh yeah. We'll sing, oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. I'm a oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. I'm a oh yeah. I will sing, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a oh yeah.
Malogo yede, oh, Malogo yede, papa, Malogo yedo, Wambra, wambiansa, Monu magbe, yeke kai mose biye, Ola Joshia, look no pape kapu went down. La 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 look no pape kapu went down. Anonya sonjo yeke jo magbe no fe kutamo buku kutamo blafo yo. La 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 look no pape kapu went down. One man, da combabi, one man, frafabi, one man, Gucci Zala, one man, one day was she go. One man, I be Ada, Probo Fantashante, Simabo no be one man, one day was she go. Malogo yede, oh.
Thank you for joining again, Kwame.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that technology. So,
No problem at
do you want me
all.
to?
We can understand. So, you have few messages here, but before I read the messages to you, I want you to briefly finish what you were talking about and then ask the question: energy price caps. How does it work by the regulator, and who is the energy regulator? So please do finish what you were talking about and then answer this question in 2 minutes, probably. Thank you.
Okay. So so I was saying that if you move into a new property, if you move into a new property and supplied by your existing supplier, then that's fine. If you want to stay with your existing supplier, you just have to contact them and say, I've moved to this property. They'll close your old account and then set up the new account for you. Now, if the new property has got a different meter there, so let's say it's got a top-up meter, but you were paying direct debit with your previous supplier, then you would have to get them to change the meter before obviously you can go back to direct debit. Now, if you move into the new property and it's not supplied by your existing supplier, then you you will need to tell your existing supplier to take over if you want them to supply you at a new address. If you're happy to stay with the existing supplier at the new property, then you can just call them, set up an account, and then obviously change the meter if you want to change the payment method. When you move into that new property, if the meter that is there is not your preferred payment method, then obviously it has to be changed. But if that meter belongs to a different supplier, and if you want your existing supplier to supply you at the new address, then they would have to first of all switch the supply, which previously used to take about 3 weeks, but now they can probably switch within 5 days. And then they will probably have to change the meter if it's not your required payment method before you can get onto the way you want to pay. So that's it about changing supplier, but obviously you go through a quote, make sure that you're going for the best deal. Obviously we're all trying to cut costs, so it's necessary that you go for the best deal. Now, price caps. So in the market, there are some people who are vulnerable, but then they don't consider changing suppliers. They don't consider changing tariffs. So they're always on the standard variable tariff. And sometimes you might find the standard variable tariff being a bit higher. So what the regulator, which is Ofgem, has done is to put in place a system where they will put a cap on how much those sort of customers can be charged. So that review previously was being done 1st of April and 1st of October. They do a review, they advise the energy company as to what they can charge on the standard variable tariff. The energy companies can actually have a fixed tariff, which is different from this variable. This is solely for those who are on variable tariff. So they fix a cap, and it means that the energy companies cannot charge more than that. So the regulator, Ofgem, what they literally do is to regulate the market, make sure that all the energy companies have the same level of activities, or they are doing the same thing in terms of how they are supposed to operate. So no one is having any sort of upper hand over the other. They also work in the interest of customers, so to make sure that you're being charged a fair amount and you're not exploited by the energy companies, basically. Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much for that as well. The first question that I've got for you, this is Nana Ajwa. Nana Ajwa says, good morning to you both. I have actually received a letter from my energy supplier saying that I need to go paperless. If I go paperless, will I get any discount for going paperless?
Okay, so that's a question that you need to ask your energy supplier. Some of them will give you a discount for going paperless. Some of them will charge you for having paper bills, and some of them you are neither here nor there, so you don't get any benefits. But obviously, as we are all trying to be friendly to the environment, if you do have the option where you can receive your bills by email, then we will always encourage you to do that, because then it's going to save you time, save you having to deal with papers and posts getting lost, or where you say I haven't received my bill. Because if you go paperless, once your bill is ready, you get an email, you log in into your online account, you can see the bill. If you want to print it out, you can download the bill. If for any reason you need a paper bill, you can't download it, you can then speak to your energy supplier so that they can send you a copy for the bill that you need, instead of all the time receiving bills by post. So we're all trying to be look at how we can help the environment, as obviously it's a massive discussion at the moment. So if you have the option, or you are in a position to go paperless and it's not going to cost you anything and it's going to be convenient for you, then I always encourage you to go for paperless. And if you're getting a benefit, if they're going to give you some benefits for going paperless, then why not? Yes, definitely.
Supports the show. Good morning to you, Nanaba. It's been a while, and thank you for joining us today. She says that I am an elderly person, and I really want my bill to change in terms of the printing. How do I go about that?
Okay, so some companies have got, so there's something called priority services. which most companies have. I think all companies have got, and it's just basically for a service for the vulnerable. So if you have got any um fiscal issues like handicap or anything, you've got children under 5, you've got anyone who's got any sort of health issues, even social issues, you need to speak to your energy supplier. So if you're aging and you're struggling to see, you probably will need your bills to be a bit bigger. So you can call your energy company and request that your bills are sent to you with large fonts or large print, and then they will be able to do that for you. So it all depends on what you need, but the most important thing is speak to your energy supplier and then try and put in, ask them what you need or put your request across to them, and they should be able to help you one way or the other.
Lovely. Thank you. And Eunice says that good morning to you both. I oftentimes receive a duplicate electricity bill. What does that mean?
So if you receive a duplicate electricity bill, it's if they are really duplicate, so the same copy, the same information on it, then it probably might be a problem with the company printing it twice. But sometimes what happens is that when your bills are due, your energy supplier will send you a letter and say, give us meter reading this period. So every company is got something called a read window that they expect to get the readings in. If you don't give a reading, they will send you an estimated bill. Okay. But then let's say maybe you've traveled, you've come back, you've seen that the letter is there, but you've got the estimated bill. If you do give them the actual meter reading, what they would do is they would remove the estimated bill and then bill you on actual readings. So you get another bill probably similar, but a little bit different. Now, let's just say if you haven't submitted a reading for 3 or 4 months and your monthly bill, and then on the 5th month you submit a reading, what they're going to do is to recalculate your usage from the last time you submitted an actual meter reading and then work out your actual usage. In that case, all the estimated bills that you've paid for the 4 months will be removed, but they will still take into account the amount you have paid. In that case, you think that they are billing you twice, but that's not what it is. They are just trying to bill you based on actual meter readings. So if you go on the second page and if you look at the amount you need to pay for the 5 months, it's less than how much you need to pay because they have taken into account what you have already paid on the estimated bills as well.
Nice one. Nanaba Amwa. Oh, the message is gone. I'm trying to read from Facebook and the message is gone. I will come back to it again. And so this one is saying that good morning, Queen G. Love the show as always. And thank you, Mr. KWAME AKUFFO, for sharing this in-depth information with us. It has given me a better understanding. And this is Nancy. Thank you so much, Nancy, for joining us as well. Let me see if I can get the Facebook message. I saw some message, but I can't find it. The number is greeting us, but I wanted to see the message. So, anyways, we will go on and then talk about what we wanted to say. So, thank you so much for joining us. We have a few minutes to go, and I would love for you to tell us a little bit about how to be safe in using. Okay, I see the messages now. So, come by with Baby Slow said, good morning, Queen G. Nana the Nana Abba Amwadormon says, I am loving it. Isaac Obu says, I am loving it as well. And so, yes, thank you all for joining us. You make us happy whenever we see your comments. Thank you so much. And Stephen Phillips also gives thumbs up. And then Kofi Enchi Amwa also gives thumbs up. And Victoria Edu says, nice one, your shades. I notice you. Oh. Thank you. So, before you go, I want you to give us advice. In all this, we are using energy and gas. How do we ensure that we are safe in using this energy?
Yes. So for the electricity, so in your own way, in your house, things that you can do is obviously to make sure that you're not overloading your plugs. If you're not using your electricity, I would suggest that you turn them off. Don't leave them on standby, because when you leave them on standby, they are still using your electricity. So a little bit is being used on standby. And in terms of safety, it's best that you turn the appliances off. Now, that's what you can do in your house on your own. So, in terms of your heating as well, check and make sure that your boiler is working properly, your heaters are working properly. If you can smell gas, you need to call the gas emergency line, which is 0800 111 999. They will get somebody out within about an hour
Please
or two
repeat that number
to
for
have a
me.
look at it and make it safe.
Repeat that number for me. 0800
0800 111 999. It's on your bill. You find it on your bill. It should be at a very it should be clear on your bill for you to pick up very easily. Also, for your electricity emergency, you just have to call 150 on your phone, and then they would come and have a look at it for you. So we need to be safe. We need to be checking the meter. As I said, if you can smell gas, very important, you call that number. If you've got any loose cables around your meter, you need to let your energy supplier be aware of it, and obviously get them to come and fix them, make it safe. Children, make sure that they are not playing with the sockets and stuff. Make sure that they are safe. Now, in terms of the priority service that I talked about, I said you need to speak to your energy supplier, get them to put you on if you're eligible, because then that information also goes to network. So the way the energy industry is set up, you have your energy supplier being responsible for your meter. Now, the cable coming from outside into your property is the responsibility of networks. So if you have a power cut due to a substation issue or something like that, is the responsibility of networks, and that's where you call 150. Sorry, 105. 105 for electricity. 105. Sorry.
No worries.
Now, if you're on the
105.
priority services and you've got any medical equipment or anything like that, that networks will be aware of it. If there's a power cut, they will see how best they can put things in place to make you comfortable. So if you need like a generator, or if you need any heating system or anything like that, they will be able to help you out. So it's necessary that we take advantage of that priority services. If you have any vulnerability, if you've got case up below 5, you definitely have to be on the priority services for your company, and then they should be able to help you if you are in a position where you've got a problem in your property.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are aware that this is a big topic, but we've endeavored to bring something out, and we are so grateful. And I hope we will see you again, because we've got a lot to talk about that we couldn't talk about. And thank you so much for your time. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much for listening to me as well. Thank you so much, Queen Jane, for having me. Yeah, definitely. We probably have to do a second session on this, because there are other information that we haven't touched on. And obviously, we had a bit of technical issues. So, yeah, definitely, we'll have to schedule something, and then we'll talk about the other things, because it is a very touchy, touchy sort of subject. It's very important. We all use electricity and gas, and we need more information. There are a lot of information out there as well, but yeah, definitely a second option. I'll be open for that.
Amazing stuff. So please, viewers and listeners, watch out for part 2. Thank you so much, Kwame, and bye for now.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. There you have it. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? I am so happy that he came. You have information to work along with it. So please, let us be safe and also ensure that you have the correct bills. Look at it. If you don't understand anything, find information here and there to help you to understand. Thank you, Kwame. We really appreciate you. And to you, I love you more. You know it. As always, I love you. So you too, love me and don't leave me. Until we meet again next week with another fantastic episode. I am your host, Queen G, the queen of the airwaves. Love you. Mwah.
Why ya married ya yetema? Mikaboya.